right, it's another episode of the Pin High Podcast presented by Golficity. We've got a lot to talk about at the ZOZO Championship with Pat Cantlay sneaking in a win from behind on JT and Rahm. We'll also look ahead to the Bermuda Championship this week. It's a little bit of a weak field, but we'll still give you some picks, both DFS and betting. So let's get into it. All right, so it's episode 52, which should be a year.
Climax episode.
So I don't know what type of math really goes into this, but 52 weeks is a year. I'm pretty sure. But our first episode was on November 5th, 2019. So it's not really our 1 year.
Well,
it's like
that's 52 weeks from that episode. So a week from today, it'll be like, I don't know.
That doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
Doesn't really make sense. But anyway, it's the CC Sabathia episode.
No, it's the Climax. It's the Climax episode.
I guess the Bears are playing today, but CC Sabathia is the GOAT. But we had Patrick Cantlay. So this week, I had $10 on JT to win the ZOZO, and he really blew it down the stretch. I thought I had the money in my hands.
I kept checking the updates, and I saw JT and Rahm were tied. Then I saw Cantlay took the lead, and then it was just. I mean, it was like those three at the top. Like that's like usually a pretty good week, like for PGA Tour, like having those three guys up there. And Tiger's playing.
Would have been a nice amount of money in my pocket.
What did JT do on like? Wasn't he like all the way on the right or something? On like 17 or 16 maybe.
Yeah. So on 16, the par 5, he absolutely striped one. He had 244 to the hole. It was just an iron.
Mm-hmm.
And a second shot on par 5, and he just blocks it right because he was afraid of going left because there was that big tree on the left that was like bad all week for people.
Yeah.
And he just goes into the hazard right.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. Like
even like
he
on that
botched
tee.
that tournament. He should have won easily.
Even like Jon Rahm should have had like a chance of eagle on that hole, and he like for some reason hit like. Did he hit like an iron off the tee on a par 5 instead of hitting like a driver?
I forget.
And he went iron. I think he went iron and then like 3-wood and like just didn't make it there on the second shot. I mean, he hit a good shot, but he just like barely made it over the water or whatever was in front. And like I was so confused because like that hole was like kind of a dogleg right. Jon Rahm hits a cut like every time, and he like decided not to hit driver and like give himself like 300.
He can hit a swooping draw. Though I saw a lot of those shots.
But like his preferred shot, like is a nice little cut.
Preferred play is a power fade.
And literally that was like perfect for the hole that they're playing on. And for some reason, he just didn't pull driver, and like he ended up one stroke off. So like that was the difference.
I mean, I forget what hole it was. Might have been par 5. Let's call it 13th, probably give or take. He went driver iron, driving iron into the bunker that left him like with a weird chip. And then he was short, and then he went long and 2-putted for bogey. Him and JT both really botched it, but you can't also not mention Patrick Cantlay just like played unreal.
Yeah, very well down the stretch as well.
What was he under yesterday? 8, 9?
Yeah, he came out of nowhere.
8. He on that 176 par 3. Did you guys see that one over the cliff?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So he almost canned one. Like, by the way, JT used an 8-iron on that hole when he knew he didn't want it, and he came up short and a bogey in the hole. But Patrick Cantlay almost canned one on that, and that was playing like probably the most difficult hole all week. That one was crazy. But yeah, Cantlay was putting insane all week. He like did something to his putting stroke apparently. Like he changed it up, and I don't think he had a bogey all week, or he had one bogey on Sunday, and that was it.
Yeah, I think he ended up 23 under for the tournament, which is crazy.
One bogey in 4 rounds of the PGA Tour event. That's wild.
That is crazy.
The whole tournament, I was kind of following that, and I was like, how's he not going to win? Because he really didn't look like he was going to win. He just looked like he was going to have a good finish. I was like, how is he not going to win by not bogey a hole or whatever?
Right.
But that's a confusing statement. But yeah, like
I was 1 week off. I was 1 week off on Cantlay, which is really annoying. I picked him last week to win last week, and of course he wins this week.
I mean, he's been playing great golf since like since the Tour Championship, like since like this new stretch of tournaments, since he started playing, he's been playing really good golf. I mean, over COVID, he didn't play for a while. He didn't play at the beginning of the return. I think it's his first.
He played. Yeah, he played like
the Memorial.
Yeah, and it was either that or like it might have been like the Travel or something like that. But he didn't play for like the first like 2 or 3 weeks at least.
Whichever. I mean,
of the restart.
Patrick Cantlay is probably one of the best like amateur golfers like that's been out there for like forever, pretty much. Like he was a number 1 ranked amateur for like a couple years. And the fact that he only has 3 wins on the PGA Tour now is kind of crazy. And I think people are still waiting for him to like hit his stride. I mean, he had a lot of injuries and stuff, so.
Nobody really knows who he is either. Like he's just like he's super good, and like he was the guy at the Masters when Tiger won. That I was like, I don't want him to win because I don't know who he is. Yeah, and now he's like really good.
But like, yeah, he was a really highly touted amateur. So like, hopefully, like he starts to catch his stride a little bit and wins a little bit more.
I think he's up there with some of the best players on tour. He's like,
I think it was Brandel that asked him after on the Golf Channel. He was like, you can tell I had the Golf Channel on all Sunday because of my JT bet. Brandel asked him like, is it like, do you feel the pressure to like win when you only have 2 wins, and you're like one of the best players? And he said this was his 3rd win, so like he's getting there. But he was like, yeah, all the good players, like obviously we feel pressure to win, but but yeah, it's good to see him get in the winner's circle, I guess. I mean, the ZOZO actually pretty solid field. It
was a really good field.
They're getting ready for the Masters. They're not going to go to Bermuda though, obviously. Just like why would you take two flights, like 2 connecting flights to Bermuda to play in the Bermuda Championship? One more thing, I guess. Tiger finished T72, and I don't even know why they had him and Phil. I mean, Phil playing, I guess, for maybe TV ratings, but at this point, I don't think anyone actually cares.
Phil finished 76th, so they were like in the final. They just happened to be in the group.
But why'd they have them playing like at the same time as the leaders?
Because there was a no cut. It was a no cut week, so they had the like they had some groups finish on the 9th hole instead of 18th.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, but like anyway, I was just like watching like Tiger Woods at sitting at even while the leaders are like coming down the stretch. I'm like, I don't care.
He's at even. The leaders are at 22 under.
We've talked about this so much. Yeah, he's at even, and they'll still show Tiger, which is like I'm fine. I like seeing Tiger, and a casual golf fan I like seeing Tiger. But like that's just like if you're a diehard golf fan and watch golf every week, you don't want to see Tiger or Phil like on TV like every.
Here's
shot
what I would.
I would just watch like 22 shots.
I'll watch Tiger Woods hit tee shots in that scenario, but like then just don't show him like putting for bogey on 14.
Yeah, like, or making like a 6-foot par putt. That means nothing.
He's like 3 over on the back. It was just like, why are we watching this?
Whatever. He's got some work to do before the Masters because Tiger hasn't looked that good in the tournaments he's played in for the most part.
No, he hasn't. I mean, also he can play Augusta like the back of his hand, so I'm sure he'll do fine.
Yeah, but he'll do. I think he'll do fine. I think he should play next week. If he's not, then I don't know what he's doing. But he should be playing next week in the Houston Open.
If I had to guess, and I guess I shouldn't doubt Tiger at the Masters, he might make the cut and might just like kind of like have like a.
I bet he makes the cut like right on the number.
T40 finish.
I mean, it's just It's just like this week. This week he was supposed to like. People thought he was going to play well this week because of the course history this week. Like. He had a lot of course history here, and like it just didn't really work out. So you never know.
Yeah, but I think it's different at Augusta where
he's like, more of a
pumped up, and he's actually like he's trying to get in his peak before Augusta, not the ZOZO Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
So we'll see. I think he'll make the cut. I don't think he'll miss the cut. I think he'll make the cut, and then I think he'll just like hang around. He won't do. I don't think he'll do much in the Masters, but unfortunately.
I forgot. We also had Rory. Wear a Nike Golf hoodie on Sunday. It looked pretty sick. Might have to get one for Christmas.
Yeah, I'm into golf hoodies.
That was
I don't know what. I know
there's a big debate going on.
I was gonna say Silvermine. We allow like a dude will come out at 5 o'clock in jeans, and I'll just be like,
nice.
Okay. I'm like I'm not a hardo, but it's like hey. Slap on a pair of khakis.
I don't think my dad would be too happy with me showing up with a
I don't know. I think golf
sweatshirt,
hoodies
or-
are pretty sick.
You don't think so?
I don't think
President Jones.
President Jones. I don't think.
Dude,
he'll
they
be
should
too happy.
start selling them with the brand, like the Silver Spring like logo on them.
I mean, I would definitely get one.
I think
That'd be
people
so
would buy
sick.
that. Like that'd be their
Dude,
your highest
people
selling
would.
item.
I mean,
I
Will
would
walks
get
around in a hoodie.
Who?
Will.
Oh, well, that's Will. He can do whatever he wants.
I guess. But
I don't know. I'm all
I feel like
I'm
it
all
would-
for golf hoodies.
I think if they become more, if Nike starts selling them, like
I mean, didn't
it's
Hatton
like-
wore one? Hatton wore one last week. I think that was Adidas.
Yeah.
So like, I mean,
The
they're
person-
making it come. Like they're coming
JT
in.
wears- where's the
first
RLX?
person who has to endorse him is like gonna be like Rory, like Ricky, and JT. Those are
I
gonna
mean,
guys.
JT's been
endorse
wearing
him.
one for a while. I don't know why
JT
everyone's. JT's been wearing the Ralph Lauren RLX one for, a while. I don't know if he's done it in tournaments, but he's done it like in practice rounds and stuff.
Right.
Well, those he, Ricky, and Rory had to be the guys who like, and maybe even like Bryson, like had to be the guys
If
who like.
Ricky, no,
were the-
Bryson
Bryson doesn't wear. Yeah, he wears short
uh,
sleeves. He has to show
yeah,
off
wears
the.
shorts
no matter
the
what.
arms.
But
That's
with
right.
Ricky,
you
He's like
gotta
an
start
he's like
doing
an
that.
offensive
That's a stupid
lineman.
question. Yes, show off his arms. You're right.
I agree with you. Ricky, JT, Rory, if they start doing it,
Speed
Tiger does
too.
it. Yeah, if Speed brings out an Under Armour one.
Maybe
then-
they'll turn his fortunes around too. Who knows?
Yeah. Then I feel like it's like my the mock turtleneck, like
Yeah.
not the mock turtleneck. Whatever I have
Yeah,
that's
mock
like
turtle-
Tiger Woods one.
Yeah,
The
Mark
pink
turtleneck, right?
It's
The
more
pink
of
one.
just like a button up.
Yeah, those ones. It's like, okay, well, it's a Nike golf shirt, so like a golf course can't just be like, no, you can't wear that because it's like, well, I got it on a golf website. It's like with a sweatshirt. I feel like
let's be honest. Most golf courses we play aren't like. There's no hawks around like looking for us. Like
no, I'm saying, but if you were playing a nice private club,
right. I mean,
But-
yeah. Like I feel like if the pros are wearing it, you should be able to like wear it. That's what-
Exactly.
They're like,
Like,
they're
it's-
playing at these like really nice
They're wearing
clubs, and they're
joggers.
Yeah.
wearing like joggers and like a hoodie. Like,
I
I mean, I'm
still
not
don't think
saying
I ever
I'm not
wore
saying
it.
I would wear a joggers and a hoodie, but like if the pros are wearing it, like you should be able to wear it. Like no one's
Like,
gonna go
more-
up to
more
Rory and be
people
like,
will wear it.
Rory, you gotta take that hoodie off, man. Like it's not the collared shirt. Like you gotta take it off. Like sorry,
I
I
think
mean,
it's-
I'm not gonna toe the line.
I still think a PJ Tour event and like a private club are like still a little bit different. Like a private club, like you have like all the members and like you have to like PJ Tour tournament. I feel like they can wear whatever they. Like Ricky wore like a Hawaiian shirt. Like I would not be able to wear a Hawaiian shirt to my club back home. I would not be able to do that. Like Ricky wore a
does.
Hawaiian
well,
shirt
yeah,
to.
I can.
Oh, yeah.
Cheek wears a Hawaiian shirt to Silvermine.
I can't. I wouldn't be able to
Sick
wear
shirt,
one.
too.
Like it's just. It's like it's the old golf versus new golf thing.
Yeah.
It's that whole thing.
Silvermine is
Like,
most
people-
definitely
yeah.
Carl will make you wear a collared shirt at Silver Spring.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. 100%.
I mean, I never did wear the Tiger Woods shirt at Silvermine or Silver Spring
Mhm.
because I just didn't want to raise
I
any
mean,
feathers.
it's just really. It's
That
like a
makes-
golf shirt. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Nobody would say.
I think it'll become more normalized, but for right now, it's just still old golf versus new golf, and then we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
All right.
I mean,
and then
also,
before
just one more thing on that. Like winter golf, like anything goes.
Oh no,
you
yeah,
can wear
anything.
literally anything, and like if it's under 40 degrees, wear whatever you want.
Speaking of, like Jeek said, I think Jeek texted us in our group chat a couple weeks ago. We need to get a Ryder Cup going when we go back for Thanksgiving.
Dude, I haven't played golf in like a month. It's like been
I've-
that long.
I played for the first
played a
time
week
today.
ago.
Played for the first time today in like 2 weeks.
How'd you play?
Honestly, not bad. We do like my friends and I do like a scramble, like teams against each other. We do like 3-on-3, and like me and D Park and my other friend, we shot. We were 1 over and we lost by 1, giving 3 strokes.
Okay.
Yeah, but like it was like I had some good shots, I had some bad shots. Like it could have got a lot worse. I feel like a lot worse.
Kind of
Yeah.
sucks. It's starting to get a little cold out here in the Northeast. So today was chilly.
Yeah, today was so
Yeah.
brutal. Today was brutal. I didn't go
Today
outside.
was. I woke up this morning. It was a little chilly. I got to the course. It was a brisk
It was
65,
just a little
70.
60. Yeah. It was like
I'm
38 degrees
damn,
today.
Damn, I didn't wear like my friends are wearing like quarter zips. I'm like, I forgot my quarter zip. I guess it'll be a little bit cold in the course today.
Nope. 3 holes in, it's already 75.
Yeah, and then literally 3 holes in, the sun came out, and it was like I was already sweating at that point.
Exactly. That's South Carolina for you. But yeah, no, I feel like maybe not the day after Thanksgiving, maybe 2 days after Thanksgiving, depending on everything. We can do a Ryder Cup because day after Thanksgiving I think is the Tiger No, Tiger. Phil, Chuck, Steph, and
Tom Brady.
Peyton
Manning. Yeah.
But one more thing before we move into our hypothetical. Bryson, some Bryson talk, obviously. When is there not Bryson news? He carried the ball, was it 403, I think, with a driver that's 48 inches. I mean,
it's not even fair.
This is getting ridiculous.
Like, what? Like, I feel like he's been doing like 350, 360 on tour, and then I saw 400, and I was like,
you know,
how?
Like golf, like architects are gonna start putting in like pop bunkers at like around 400 yards. Like it's not in play for anyone except for Bryson.
It's got
like literally just for Bryson.
Sides of the fairways with like for green, like
up all the way up to the green.
Well, guys are gonna start doing stuff like Bryson is, like not maybe to the full extent that he is, but and they're gonna start hitting maybe 360, 370. They're gonna have to like put bunkers out there, like
lengthen the tees
different
again.
Spots, not at like 280 anymore and 290.
Like a
is there going to be a day
bunkers.
when people are going? Is there going to be a day when people are going to hit the ball 500 yards?
You know, they should just have they should just have the Bryson tees.
No,
like Bryson only plays like the back tees, and then like everybody else plays like the normal tees.
The Bryson tees.
See what happens.
Well, that's what that's what we're gonna have to call like the new tees that they make at all these courses. They're gonna have to call the back tees the Bryson tees.
Like at some point, there's not enough.
We should call the back tees the Bryson tees.
Yeah, the blacks, the backs, whatever they are, they're the Bryson tees now.
Yes, that's our.
It's just like whatever. Like at some point, like there's not enough land to like extend these golf courses like any further. So like they're gonna have to do.
No, there's not.
So like that's when you start putting bunkers and stuff in.
You can definitely move tee boxes back because I feel like.
But like they already are doing it at a lot of these courses that play like these PGA Tour events because they're trying to like make them as long as possible.
You got to create new tee boxes is the thing.
Well, again, yeah.
Put down some trees. You never know. Yeah.
Like they've already been doing that. I'm saying like there's.
I know.
Like it's tough to do it even further.
Doing it.
Like you're gonna have like a tee box like off the like balcony of the clubhouse like at some point.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be dope. So let's move into the Monday hypothetical. I came up with this one this morning just because I was like, what's like something that's a tough decision? I was like 90-yard shot. What are you hitting? And me personally, I feel like that's like, I don't like to swing full on with a wedge because it's just like, I don't know, I feel like you have less control. So I feel like I would take out my 56 and because I'd have to hit it a little bit harder. So I'd probably just like take a 52 and try to like bump it.
Yeah, I'm in between the 56
low shot.
I would hit 50. I would hit 56 or 54 full or not full like.
I don't have 54.
Three quarters.
54 seems like a perfect club.
Wedges more dialed in with my distances because it's more of like a guessing game right now. Ever since I got my 60, all I've done is hit on the course. No, I haven't hit it on a practice range at all. So it's kind of
tough, haven't really hit a full 60 yet. I'm sure.
It's also
it's just feel.
Yeah, it's a 60 degree that I found in the bag room of Silver Spring Golf Club, country club. So
the perks.
Yeah. So. And my dad's 56 now is the same.
I would probably hit a 56 from 90 yards. Maybe a 50. Like depends on like what I'm looking at. If I'm looking at like an uphill like chip, then like maybe I'll pull out the 52. But if it's just like straight fairway, like straight to the hole, like 56 would probably be fine.
Yeah, it's circumstantial.
Like
I guess.
like Silvermine when you're playing Silvermine when you're playing like the fourth hole and you have to hit it like up the hill a little bit. Like and say I had 90 yards on the fourth hole, I would probably hit a 52.
Obviously, it's very circumstantial. But that's what I thought. I was like, well, no shot in golf's the same, so it really is like depending on where you are.
Which whatever. It happens that like the golf course that we play at, we have so many like 90-yard like chips on like our second shots.
Oh yeah, it's annoying. You got to get those dialed in.
And then again, I'm not very good at that. So like that's why I don't like shoot like 70 every time I play Silvermine.
Yeah. Trevor still needs to put together a good round at Silvermine. You've just
I feel like you go green hunting. You go green hunting and like that's not the move. Like a lot of the times you should just hit an iron and like
sometimes
hit it on a birdie.
Hunting. Sometimes
we'll play.
You can't go green hunting on like number 7.
When you go 7, 8, like 7, 8, 9, or like 7 and 8 really, or like 6, 7, 8. Like 7 and 8 is like that stretch of holes that can make or break your round. Because if you go for the green on, if you go for the green on both those holes, if you go for the green on both those holes and like miss on both those holes, like you're screwed.
Trevor could probably take a 4 iron or a 4 or 5 on 8 and just like put it on the green still. No.
I'm just like afraid to go at the flag on that one because sometimes like I don't hit the ball like on the square every time, and then like the water just gets in your head and like you end up in the water. So
yeah,
I'm gonna play one of those days this summer or next time we play Silver Mine. I'll play like if I'm playing well, I'll play like a serious like tournament round at Silver Mine and see what happens. I actually want to. How low can I get? I really want to see actually what, like if I'm playing serious and taking like 4 iron or 2 iron every single hole, and, like hitting it down the middle of the fairway every single hole.
2 iron might be too much.
Honestly, it might be too much.
Like you should take like 5 iron on every hole.
I literally will driver on like 3 holes and that's it. That's like the part
like
like 9, 10, and that's it. Then maybe
17.
Yeah. 17. That's it.
So on that note, we can get into the DFS and the betting for the Bermuda. So they've only played here once, so we're not going to do much of a course preview. It's like not very like out there information about. Like,
there's a lot of so like pretty much this is another like course where the pros are going to tear it up. Brendan Todd's the defending champion, and he won at 24 under last year. Harry Higgs was in second. He was at 20 under, so we had 2 guys 20 under and more. So they're going to tear it up. I mean, if you look at Brendan Todd's like round by round scores last year, 68, 63, 67, 62. So they're going to tear it up for sure.
The course is super short, like 6,800 yards.
And there's a lot of like wind.
There's a lot of wind. That's the only issue.
That's the one thing that you need to like look at. Other than that, like it's very straightforward.
Yeah. So do we want to get into high salary guys we like right now?
Yeah. So.
Or do we want to do our picks first?
Let's do the high salary. Like the field is not very stacked, so your highest salary your highest salary is Brendan Todd at 11-1. Then Zalatoris at 10-9. Varner at 10-7.
You just call him Ben Zalatoris?
No, it said then Zalatoris. Then Zalatoris. And Doc Redman at 10-4. So like, I mean, I don't Varner. I don't love Varner at that high price, and like other than that, like I like Brendan Todd. I like Will Zalatoris. I like Doc Redman. So
I think there's a world where you could honestly possibly pick Brendan Todd and Will Zalatoris.
Yeah,
probably
you could.
When you see the picks that I have, like you'll be like, it's maybe plausible. I don't know.
Well, so if you pick Todd and Zalatoris, you have for your last 4 players, you have an average remaining of 7,000. So like it's totally
probably
doable.
Not.
Yeah, you could do 7,000 players.
Oh, but then with the guy,
and there's like 66. Who are the guys? Well, go into your picks.
Okay. Well, I'll go into my first guy. So it's Fabian Gomez. He's 6,700. It's just really a value pick at this point. Like he had a solo 7 here last year in the only year of the tournament. I wouldn't imagine the field's much better than last year, if it is at all. Probably isn't. And he's really, really good around the greens. I think he's 4th this year so far, and he was, I think, like 30th last year. Like he's really good around the greens. He can score. He's last year he was 5th, I want to say, in eagle average. So that's just a 6,700 with a solo 7 in the only year of the tournament. I feel like that's pretty good, especially if you want to take those high salary guys.
Yeah, agreed. I'm gonna go with Stuart Sink at 7,900. His last start, he won at the Safeway, so that's always good. And before that, he was T12 at the Sanderson. Those are kind of like.
Is his son on the bag?
I'm sure he is.
That's true. That's a good question.
Probably. So I mean, just like looking at who won last year, Brendan Todd, not a very long hitter. Stuart Sink, kind of similar player. So based on previous form and that fact, I like him at 7,900.
I'll go with Henrik Norlander at 8,900 for my first pick. He's T28 last year. He finished T4 Sanderson Farms. I think he's one of the better players in the field, and he's playing better than he was last year, I think, coming into this, just because nobody knew about him last year at this point. So I think that he could be a good mid to high salary guy to have in your lineup. I think he's pretty solid. And then I'll go with Sepp Straka at 7,600. He's missed a lot of cuts, but in the tournaments with the weaker fields, kind of like this, like Rocket Mortgage last year finished T8, and I think he finished well a couple weeks ago too. Like he's made 3 or 4 cuts on tour this past year or this past season. So, and he's got 11th in strokes gained approach and 53rd in strokes gained total, and weaker field. I think he could be a good value play.
Right. I hear doors opening. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna make a very interesting pick right now, because honestly, we didn't do a ton of research on this, but Max Homa at 7,200. He's been playing god awful. Like in the recent, like his form is just terrible right now. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm picking Max Homa, hoping that he figures something out this week and turns it around. He was cut his last few like starts. Cut, T59, cut, T52, T3rd. So we hope he finds that T3rd form. Also, like I feel like if people are looking at this, he's not going to be in a lot of people's lineups. So if you have Max Homa at 7,200 and he happens to play well and he's not in a lot of people's lineups,
I do like that play because I feel like people will stay away from him. That's the one point you made there that was actually good, because I feel like 5 out of 7 cuts, I mean, 2 out of 7 cuts
in a tournament like this, usually a random person ends up winning. Like you saw, like Stuart said a couple weeks ago, if you have that random person, like it doesn't really matter what the rest of your lineup did, you're probably gonna win money in DraftKings. So
in terms of like quality of players, Max Homa is better than 72,000.
Well, yeah, he's definitely better than quality, but just based on recent form, it hasn't been good. So I'm hoping, like, if no one picks him and like you happen to have him in your lineup, like, and he plays decent, like even top 30, like that's a win.
So I'm changing my second one right now, but I'm still gonna put the guy that I have in there in my lineup, so I'll talk about him after. But I'm actually going to go Ryan Armour. You were talking about guys that are like Brendan Todd that won this tournament last year. Ryan Armour also finished really good last year. I think he was top 10. He's one of those guys in the top 3 in driving accuracy. 6,600, another value play. I'm just going straight value this week. Like I'll honestly, you guys can see it on Skins too, but I'm going to read off this lineup I just put in. Brendan Todd, Will Zalatoris, Fabian Gomez, Ryan Armour, Stuart Sink, and then my last guy, 6,300, Brian Gay. He was a T3 here last year, I believe. Yeah, T3. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty good lineup, having the top 2 guys, and then you have a bunch of value.
Right. So I was like, you were saying oh, like, can you make a lineup of these 2? Like, absolutely. Like,
and you works. Absolutely can.
I took the 2 guys that you just picked, Gomez and Armour. Gomez and Armour, and then I took Straka, and then that leaves you with 7,100. So I took Rob Oppenheim at 7,000, which is not like terrible.
From Andover, Mass. Shout out.
So like, I mean, it could be done if you want to pick the top 2 guys. I mean, the only thing about picking the top 2 guys is you hope one of them wins, because a lot of people are going to have them this week.
Yeah, exactly.
Because there's no reason not to pick a guy near the top, right? So.
The only way you would want to stay away from them is if obviously a lot of people are going to pick them, but yeah, if they win, then it doesn't matter. Like, you need them in your lineup if they win. So let's move on to bets. Last week, my bet didn't answer top 30. He was looking good all week, but then he finished T35. Jeekin and Trev hit with their top 20s with Finau and Watson.
I'm on a heater right now.
You are. I'm in last place now. I started
out with
first
4 place. Of my last 4 or something like that, or like 3 of my last 3. So it is pretty good.
So yeah, for my winner, I got Brendan Todd at plus 1,400. It's not a hot take to repeat, but it just feels right. I feel like he won by 3-4 strokes last year. I feel like I was saying this before the show. He's debatably like probably in better form than he was last year at that time. I mean, last year he was coming off a win at the Mayakoba, but like, I don't know. I feel like he's continued to play good golf since then. So, gonna go with him. And my best bet's Doc Redman, top 10 at plus 250. I feel like Doc Redman is one of those guys that just does well at these weird tournaments that aren't like
Yeah.
very good fields.
So
Plus
my
250,
picks.
going for 2 points.
I literally have your picks in like reverse order almost. So I have Doc Redman winning at plus 2,800. I mean, I feel like I pick him every time he's in one of these events. So, and he always finishes like in the top 10, top 5. So like you just said, pretty much. And then I have Brendan Todd top 20. Top 10 is a good bet too, but I'm trying to get the point. So top 20 is safer at minus 136. So, kind of just flipped your two.
I'll go with Dane McCarthy to win plus 3,500, and he's also my best bet, top 20 plus 150. He's a great putter. Finished T15 here last year. I think the big thing here, like you don't need distance at all here, based off it's 60, 100 yards. So as long as you putt well and score well, I think you can play well. And Dan McCarthy kind of fits that bill. So I'll ride with him. I was gonna pick him in my lineup, or I'm gonna pick him in my lineup. But I was gonna pick him in my DFS picks, but he was sour, is too high for this like segment. So I'll ride with him at bets and see how he does. I think he's gonna do really well. I really like him this week.
So yeah, doubling down. I like it.
Doubling down, Dan McCarthy.
Gotcha.
First round leaders. I mean,
What do we think?
Take a stab here. I mean, you can't really go wrong with a Brendan Todd first round leader plus 2,500.
You can't.
I'm gonna go with Henry Cameron Tringale.
Tringale's always a good pick for that.
Let's go with Cameron
steady
Tringale.
Okay.
Let's
go Tringale and Todd.
Yeah,
there's a lot of that. Like I love the first round leader. Like there's a lot of value. Like Brendan Todd is like 2,500. Like that's crazy. 10 to win 250.
Yeah. It's good value.
Like,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna throw some money on that.
All right. Then we can move on to birdies and bogeys to cap off this episode. Who wants to start?
I mean, I'll go. So birdie of the week is FIFA Pack Luck. As I was saying before, I packed like the most expensive player in FIFA, so that was good. Not that anyone cares. Bogey of the week, I got two. First is I haven't been able to play golf in a long time. Like we just had midterms week here, so no one really wanted to play this weekend or last weekend. So it's now getting cold, so like you're kind of losing those average golf like fans. Like you know, like some people will play when it's like nice out. Like, oh yeah, we'll play golf, but like most people won't play when it's 40 degrees out, which is fair. And then my other bogey of the week, I wanted to live bet the Lions to beat the Falcons right when the Falcons scored a touchdown.
That's tough.
The line didn't show up, and I was just waiting for it to show up. It never showed up. I texted like everybody I knew, like put your money on the Lions like right now, and like I couldn't even put my money on the Lions. So
I was on my friend's watching. My friend's a big Falcons fan. He even said find money in the Lions, like find a way to put the money in the Lions.
And I just didn't find it never showed up. So that was tough. Like if I lost money this week, which I didn't, I don't think I would have paid the bookie. They're like, nope, not doing it. I don't care.
And then Trev, you can go second.
All right, so my birdie is I played golf today for the first time in a long time because of COVID and because nobody wanted to play. So we all played. It's a good time. My team and I lost by a stroke, unfortunately. But I didn't play that bad. So hopefully play a little bit more. Bogey is that South Carolina got absolutely smacked on Saturday night, even though I thought we were going to win the whole time. And they played like LSU's backup quarterback, and it was just a massacre. We were watching at a bar, and it was awful, absolutely awful. So, and the Bears play tonight. If they lose, that's a big bogey, but hopefully they win.
Tonight we find out if the Bears are frauds or not. Like everybody keeps saying.
God, it's such a big game,
Huge game.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did you say your con? Or your con?
Yeah, I said bogey was
bogey.
got smacked.
I don't know why I said con.
Yeah.
Pros and cons. So, birdie.
Are we renaming the segment?
Honestly?
Hold on.
Pros and cons? No. So my
birds and bogeys are so much better.
My birdie is
And
just
pros
a
and
string
cons
of
has a
events.
ring to it.
Yeah, I mean, birdies and bogeys makes way more sense.
Yeah,
What are you talking about?
What
Okay,
birds
go
and
ahead.
bogeys?
Go ahead.
On the
Go ahead.
podcast. So, birdie, just a good string of events this weekend. Just Thursday night, took an impromptu, or Thursday at like 5 after work, took an impromptu trip to Target, got myself a panini press. Great start to the weekend. Made myself some paninis this weekend. Friday, straight outdoorsy day, 81 degrees in Syracuse, New York in October. That doesn't happen. First beer of the day cracked at 10:50 a.m. at the golf course.
Yep.
Doesn't get much better than that. Saturday, I take an impromptu trip to Buffalo and Niagara Falls. Got to see Niagara Falls. Looks CGI in real life. Doesn't look real. And in Buffalo's wings at Duff's, famous wings, live up to the hype. Best wings I've had in my life.
That's like, if I'm in Buffalo, you have to get wings. That's what I've heard.
Best wings I've had in my life. So straight good weekend, and my friend got a kitten. So
that's fun.
So
I did see
great
that.
weekend for the mental health.
I did see you sending the pictures of you, and then like you pan over and it's just a cat. I'm like,
yeah,
interesting.
Dude, this thing's so small. It's tiny. You feel bad picking it up because it's so small. It's insane. I'm not even a cat person. I don't like cats, but kittens.
Mm-hmm.
Kittens are dope.
Kittens are nice.
Cats are. I don't like cats. So yeah, anything else? Any other honorable mentions? Oh, I didn't even say a bogey. No bogeys this week. Except for the fact when I played golf.
Did you make any bogeys on the golf course?
I had 8 pars and a triple bogey.
Yeah, there's your bogey.
Oh my god.
He literally ate a literal bogey.
I think a quadruple bogey. 8 pars and a quadruple bogey. I stepped to the first tee. We went into onto the 10th tee, and it's a par 3. Not a singular practice swing. No glove because I couldn't find it at the time. Put an 8 iron to 2 feet.
What kind of? It was 10th tee. I would say, what kind of first hole was a par 3?
I mean, at this point, we're pretty seasoned with no practice swings, no.
No, but I didn't even take a practice swing on the tee. Just
you just walked up and hit
it.
A roasted 8 iron.
Good.
That's always a great feeling too. Great way to start the round.
Yeah. But other than that, is next week the Houston Open, or are we just gonna have?
It is.
Okay. Next week. Next week is Houston Open.
I feel like we've been saying that for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Masters.
Houston Open and then the Masters.
Week.
Yeah.
And then the Masters.
We're kind of in a little off season right now. The podcasts have been noticeably shorter, but
the ZOZO was actually a really good tournament though.
Yeah, good field too.
But yeah, the podcast is a bit of an off season. I feel like when we go home for Thanksgiving, gonna be a noticeable uptick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Because nobody's gonna be as busy anymore. But so yeah, we'll have a month and a half of that. I'll probably come back to Syracuse either way. But so yeah, we'll see you next week at the Houston Open, and then we got Augusta the weekend after that. Peace.